G'day guys, Agate's here. Russell and the team at Access Workwear and Safety have been looking after me and other tradies for years, making sure we get the clothing, equipment and boots we need when we're on the tools. Now, in their typical style, they're taking customer service to the next level and talking to experts on our behalf about life beyond the tools. And let's face it, none of us are getting any younger, so tune in and get some tips from different experts on how to look after your health, wealth, business and your team beyond the tools.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Tools. Today I'm out on the road. I'm visiting our key supply partners head office, Hard Yakka, and are going to be introducing you to Linstel, who is Hard Yakka's Senior Product Manager. So when you, our customers, walk into our store and, as you often do, say, wow, there's so much to choose from, here's the reason why. So Linstel, thank you so much for joining us today.
More than happy to.
How did you, tell us a bit about your background and how you've ended up as the Senior Product Manager here at Hard Yakka?
It's a very interesting story because I've never done workwear before.
Okay.
I've been in this role for a little over 4 years now, and quite simply, I've been in the fashion industry most of my life in Australia, and prior to that, I've lived all around the world. So I've worked alongside a lot of major brands in fashion, and workwear was something that always teased my fancy. And when this position came up and the opportunity arose here with Workwear Group, it was really exciting to see the opportunity of where we could transition Hard Yakka into. Yeah. And what you're seeing today is just a little bit of an edge start into where we really are heading as a brand.
Yeah. We hear often in the store about how close workwear has come to fashion. So to have somebody with your sort of background taking that part of the industry and connecting it with that part of the industry is really exciting. Tell us about the landscape as you see the workwear industry at the moment.
So the workwear industry at the moment has, meaning even in the last 4 years, has dramatically shifted really. And part of the reason being because our tradies, male or female, have been very astute to know what they want and how good they want to look on a work site. Yep. And dare I say, why wouldn't you want to?
Yes.
Like, bloody hell, I would too. And rightly so. Yeah. And also there's this real keen essence in every trade person that I ever meet, that they really love what they do. Yep. It's a true hardcore understanding and love of what they do.
Absolutely.
It's very deep. And you don't see that very commonly in a lot of industries as you do with workwear and workwear industries. So for me, across the board, for male or female, that's one of the key things that I always pay attention to, because that really sets the tone of how you need to, no questions asked, give them the best of the product and the range, and also the technicalities around the range.
Yeah, you talk about technicalities, there's been so much innovation. I'll talk about our customers saying how wide the ranges are now, but it's not just about the product choice, it's about the innovation that's gone into that as well.
Absolutely.
Whether that be sort of fabrication or so tell us about what sort of happened technically, I suppose, with some of the products.
So with some of the products, and probably a couple I'll touch on briefly, is the Raptor range that we launched a couple of years ago, and it's still growing strength on strength. And one of the key elements that we looked at was where does the Hard Yakka range currently fit? When you think about Hard Yakka as a brand, it's been around more than 90 years, so we do have a very strong customer base. But at the same token, we've got a youth customer that's transitioning into this space that don't know anything about Hard Yakka. How do you get them on that journey of understanding what the brand is? So when you talk about technicalities, when you talk about fabrics, when you talk about trims, when you look at a product in our range, and for example, Raptor, you would not imagine there's a lot happening with that product when you first look at it. But just to touch on a couple of things, we talk sustainability in that product range. We talk there's 14 pockets. What the hell would you do with 14 pockets? I am yet to understand.
But our customers tell us every day they need it.
Exactly.
That's it, yeah.
And we'll tell you the reasoning why we did as well, 14 pockets.
Yeah.
But then also fabrics and how fabrics have come such a long way,
Yes.
even in your basic fabrics, how they've come such a long way in the industry. And polyesters, nylons, not just cotton-based fabrics. So the market's shifted into more not just being breathable, not just caring about the environment, not just durability, but overall as a product range, the expectation from an end consumer is a lot more higher than it ever has been.
Sure. And you and I speak a lot in relation to the products that we stock,
Yes.
and the people that are wearing them. And we've had many conversations about the number of females, our lady tradies, which is possibly a technically incorrect thing to say.
No, it is a term.
but the number of females that are in the industry, even to the point that there are government initiatives around quotas for that.
Absolutely.
So is that something that's an important part of what you do? I know you've
Very much
mentioned YLab.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about
I will.
that? Yeah.
Now, just to take a step back, I'll talk about YLab in a second, but
Yeah.
to take a step back, I think what's interesting is it's kind of played in my favor here, being a woman here as well, you know?
Right,
Because when
yeah.
we talk about women in the workplace, I feel very passionate about it.
Yes.
Because they are a very small sector of the market at this stage. And to give everyone an idea, it's about 2.5%
Yeah.
on any work site, any given work site. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's minuscule. That's dots,
Yeah.
right? What the Victorian government has done is change the quotas, to your point. But what they've done is now they're saying it's a compulsory mandatory quota
Right.
from January this year.
Okay.
It is going to be 35% on a work site. So
Extraordinary.
it is going to be a huge change on a work site, and we've seen that with people like Melbourne Chippy Chick right behind you, where
Yes.
we did have
Yes.
a part of our program a couple of years ago, and and YLab, and I'll talk to that as well. Working alongside Melbourne Chippy Chick, but building YLab as well, which is really Yakka Lab in a sense.
Yeah.
What it means is it's our wear a trial program.
Okay.
Now it seems like, oh yeah, it's a wear a trial program, but what it does is quite distinctively different to anything that is in the market, and at the heart of it, it's the user.
Yep.
What does the user or our end consumer, which is our tradie lady woman, needs?
Yes.
And the needs of women can be so different to a male's needs. Reason being, their shaping, their sizing. I want it really high stretch. I want it to be comfortable to move in. All these various features, but also I want to look pretty good on a work site.
For sure.
But simple terms, what I've been told, I do not want to be on show on a work
Yes.
site.
Yeah.
And these things we've kind of learned because we don't spend 10 hours on a work site, right? We are behind a desk, and so is our team in Hard Yakka.
And so are we behind a counter. That's it,
Exactly.
yeah.
How do we know for sure
Yeah.
that that's the right product that we need to launch with? And this is where all these tradie lady women come into a sense in YLab. So what we do is just to give you a touch point on how we do it, if we're launching a new product, doesn't matter which end of the spectrum of the market, if it's an entry price point or a high level, we build those product ranges very early on, get them out on women on site, and give us the finer details why yes or why no. And understand at the heart, why do they want this product?
Yes.
There are 20 other brands out there that they can pick from. Why is it the Hard Yakka pant?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
why is it the Hard Yakka jegging?
Yeah.
And what came out of that is the Hard Yakka jegging that we launched last year
Yeah,
as well. And that was one of the interesting things that we did, because we learned that our customer, just like the male customer, wants something cool, trendy, comfortable, wants to touch all the bells and whistles. And this jegging landed up being power stretch, really comfortable, reinforced, all the rest of it. But doing YLab, we learned the pant is perfect, love it. It fits like a legging, but is actually, which is why it's called a jegging, which is a jean legging, essentially. I love these kind of subliminal words.
Well, my wife loves them, and the team, my team in the store love them as well, and wear them. We've gone from only wearing jeans on a Saturday or Sunday in store, wear them all the time. And that's purely my guys saying to me, I want to wear these jeans every day. So they've been a fantastic product.
And like what YLab did with us with this was quite simply, we got them on all these women out there on the trade sites. Love them, absolutely love them. But why is the waistband digging in? And it was something really simple, right? We pulled it apart and worked out that some of the fusing on the internal side wasn't cut in the right way.
Yep.
And was something quite as simplistic as that,
Yep.
that we would have never picked up being in a workspace environment.
For sure.
So this is why YLab is at the heart, and this field testing that we do is at the heart of every single step of the way that we do. And then another thing that's come out of women in trade on with YLab is Linstel. We bring out amazing products for men. Why is it when you bring the women's ranges, you just cut out all the pockets?
Okay.
You know, simple thing.
Yeah.
You know, why do
Yeah.
you cut out all the pockets? We don't
Yeah.
want less pockets. We
Sure.
want the
We need them.
pockets.
Yeah.
So really ensuring that we don't kind of, you know, underestimate what a woman wants on a work site as well.
Yeah.
And really keeping that, you know, in the past it's always been women are the secondary factor on a work site.
Yeah.
Now it's coming into an even keel where you are just as important on a work site as the male counterpart, and I love that.
And those stats of 2.5% to 35%.
That's
just
incredible.
Speaks volumes.
That's incredible.
And it comes down, we talk all the time in our business about service and service being paramount. And that's a great, wonderful brand like Hard Yakka providing an amazing service to their customers, to your customers, one of which is us, in just engaging the end user to be able to provide that feedback. Final question: what's next? What comes next? What's on the horizon for the next 3 to 5 years?
So many things, so many things. But I think definitely strengthening our position with our women's offering. So everything from our core range, you will start seeing a lot more depth of range in our women's ranges, not just in male, but really a wider offering, very thought out. In our women's offering, of course, come winter, which is next month, starting winter, you will see those women's hoodies come in really strongly, and a lot more women's products really being in a considered form rather than a secondary form. You know, Hard Yakka, as you can see, is a very dominant male figure as a brand. It always has been. What I'm here to do is not forget the women out there and bring the women along that journey with the man.
That's great. That's great. Linstel, it's been absolutely fascinating and just really good fun to chat. We obviously bought a Hard Yakka store 3.5 years ago, so the partnership that we have with these guys and the support that we get from Linstel and all of the team at Hard Yakka is phenomenal, and we thank you for that. And thank you for tuning in for another episode of Beyond the Tools. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks.